Hello everybody, I'm your host Quasar and welcome back to another video. Now, this question I've been given quite a few times since the Blot update came out a while ago. Last week, exactly. Anyway, the question of course is, why does a Blot talk so funny? And I do actually have an answer. What is happening with the Yada on screen? Holy cow. Anyway, I do actually have an answer. But first, I'm going to have to ask you to subscribe. You see, right now I'm at 11,000 subscribers and we're trying to hit 100,000 before the end of the year. I really need your help for that. Also, something cool about my channel specifically, you leave a comment on it, I'm going to read it and heart it as long as you're not being mean to me. So if you want a comment hearted, go ahead and comment. I'll probably like it. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, first things first, this video required me to do a lot of research on speaking/reading disabilities. And I don't like calling them disabilities, so for the rest of this video, I will be calling them conditions instead. I know this isn't my place to talk about these things as they don't personally affect me or anyone that I am close with, but it's just a part of the learning process of how Blot talks the way he does. Now, I started research a bit ago, and I've been researching for a long time at this point, so not a bit ago now. But I've gone through multiple rabbit holes and have come to one of two conclusions. The first one is this little thing called brain damage. Basically, whenever a brain is damaged, specifically the memory part of it, it can force people to talk backwards, and the reason is the ability to talk backwards by itself is directly connected with one's memory. You see, your memory is what stores things in your brain, and the ability to talk backwards is essentially like an extra memory that goes with knowing how to talk in general. And I found studies and stuff about how some people can talk backwards, and it is quite odd. You see, pretty much anyone could do it with practice, just learning how to say things backwards, but a select few of people in this instance, or these instances are extremely rare, just can do it. And I understand why, because you're told something, you can probably reconstruct it, or deconstruct it and reconstruct it backwards simply by using your brain by itself, but it often is, they hear it, 3 seconds later, they can say it backwards, and it's really odd, but it's just their memory is better than most people's. It's pretty impressive, actually. And trust me, I am no scientist. I don't know much about this, so I am probably going to contradict myself at some point in this video. But essentially, whenever the brain is damaged, it can cause you to rely on certain parts that you don't usually rely on. So maybe someone's brain will be damaged before, or it'll be perfectly fine and in working order, and then it'll be damaged and it'll just be talking backwards. In fact, there are some case studies on this that I'll put on screen now. Now, everyone here is a patient of a person named Nelson Colwyn, who, unlike me, specializes in this stuff professionally. And his patients either had before or gained the ability to talk backwards. For example, an Italian-speaking patient that gained the ability to speak backwards after neurosurgery. There's also a patient that could talk backwards after a head injury, which resulted in problems, as well as 2 cases of this happening naturally. One with a family in Siberia that could just talk backwards, and one with a man named David Kempfer from Australia. And they in fact found his ability so unique that they decided to have him on an episode of a television show that airs in the mornings, which could be quite confusing. Imagine waking up and the first thing you hear is... Well, I was going to say something backwards, but I'm not the best at it, and I would practice before I would say anything. And now, for our number 2 reason, may I introduce to you Foreign Accent Syndrome, or FAS. It's a unique condition that makes people talk different. For example, someone may have an accent before and swap over to a different accent for seemingly reasons that we'll get into. Now, this can involve completely scrambling their speech in general, so you could go from talking perfectly fine to not getting any noise out, or getting noise out, just really odd noise. and not real words. This can also cause people to talk backwards, though the instances where this happens are very scarce. Now, foreign accent syndrome happens due to brain damage. So, Blot seems to be, well, he has brain damage. This is odd, and I personally don't see it happening. I could see him being naturally gifted, but let's look a bit closer at foreign accent syndrome, because it honestly fits with Blot really well. You see, foreign accent syndrome happens when someone with a specific accent loses it and changes accents. Now, Blot is French, or he's based off of a mime, which are traditionally French, yada yada yada, and this could cause him to be French in-game and have a French accent, which, if something bad happened, i.e. injury, well, that's really it, injury, he could lose his French accent and start talking backwards. And I feel like it's either one of these two reasons, or Blot's naturally gifted, which is what I personally believe. He's just built different and refuses to talk like normal people. Although he doesn't ever talk normally, so chances are it is actually one of these two, and he just doesn't know how to actually talk normal anymore. Either way, everyone, that's the video. I sincerely hope you enjoy it, and please do leave a comment. Also, please like the video, because this happens with me a lot where I'll forget to like a video myself, even if I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you liked the video, please like it. And whatever you do, have a great day. Bye!